Cannot believe we're seeing this again on Bitcoin. Guys, welcome to Empire Trading Academy. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you have not already. And let's get right into this, guys. First and foremost, forgive the office space. We just moved offices and we still got a little bit of work to do. So forgive that for right now. All right, guys. First and foremost, let's look at the technicals. Then we'll move on to the on-chain stuff. So Bitcoin, guys, Bitcoin has been accumulating extremely similar to structures that we've seen before. There's a lot to go over right now. All right. We all know that we've been seeing Wyckoff just a ridiculous amount throughout this cycle. All right. We had the distribution top here. We had our accumulation phase here. We had another distribution top here, another distribution top here. Okay. And then even within these structures, we're having Wyckoff events as well. Okay. Now, first and foremost, guys, we're going to go down lower time frame, 30-minute. Okay. And I want to ask right here, were you scared? Okay. Were you scared during this we'll call this a micro sell-off, okay, below support, right? Most likely. Okay. But again, this structure that we've had since December 4th, this accumulation phase right here, this accumulation, this range that we've been making, right? What are we forming again? We're forming as far as at least right now, we're still forming another Wyckoff accumulation. And real quickly, if we go over here, just to reacquaint ourselves, sell off, ranging, hitting resistance and supports. Okay. We drop below our established support. We retest our support in this range. And then we go ahead and we see upside consolidation above resistance, and then an impulse move up or our markup. Okay. And again, guys, what do we see again? We have our selling climax, our automatic rally. We're ranging, we're hitting our resistance, our supports. Okay. And then what do we have right here? We've established our basic support. We've squeezed below that support. This is designed to get any short sellers, any stop losses. And then we have, what do we have here on our volume? We have a big volume spike right in there. Okay. This is where bigger players are buying. Okay. And so we'll see how this plays out. Okay. It's very, very possible, like we've seen. I can count at least 4 times that we've seen this just in this cycle, and even on higher time frames. Okay. Where we get something like a retest there, retest, and then we're off. Okay. So let's see exactly how this plays out. If we were to go ahead and break down this resistance or this support, first support that was tested here, but that's not our main support. If we were to go ahead and break down this, 42 would definitely be our next stop. Okay. And just because we have 42 does not necessarily mean we're in a bear market, guys. At the longer that this goes on like this kind of ranging that we've had in the macro, not just here, without having any sort of big euphoric phases in this bull run, I'm more inclined to think that we're in this super cycle, that the super cycle continues to, even 2023, more slower grind up, not necessarily these big parabolic moves. We have big institutions in now, guys, just a lot bigger adoption for Bitcoin and crypto in general. And so the more and more I see, the more and more I'm inclined to think that this is a super cycle. And 2023, something like that, is where we kind of top out, and then we head into a gradual bear market. All right, but so technicals, guys, in the short term, this is kind of what we're looking at as far as right now. I don't want to see any further break of this at all. Okay, I want to see it hop back up into this range, a retest of the support, and then we go ahead and trace up out of this, eventually breaking out of resistance, and then we go ahead and hit all-time highs. All right, and continue this bull run. All right, if we zoom out, guys, if we go to the daily, we always want to look at higher time frames, right, to get a good picture of this, okay, to see exactly what's going on. All right, first and foremost, the biggest thing here is that if we trace our highs, okay, we can draw our trend line there. We had a breakout, nice breakout of that, and now we're retesting that perfectly. Okay, so we've retested that and we're starting to bounce, and we'll see how that bounce comes off. And remember, that was the spring or our squeeze in this accumulation phase. Okay, so that matches. We're also bouncing off of the 300-day moving average. Okay, so that's holding, that's extremely strong. And we see with this wick coming down, guys, we see this wick coming down, right? And this wick is letting us know that, yes, we had a lot of selling. This was a lot of liquidation, right? A lot of liquidation of leverage. But what more importantly, this buying up and the fact that this is a wick and not a body, all this demand in here, this buying pressure just pushes all of this up. Okay, and we're always going to get some sort of selling after this, right? But because this is a lot of leverage, I don't see us retracing all the way back here. Is it possible? Sure, it's definitely possible. But this wick is just a tremendous amount of leverage that was built up, not entirely cleaned out here, and then built up even more and more over here, as we'll see in our on-chain. Okay, so this is a lot of leverage and not necessarily all spot that's being sold. Okay, so it's not a natural wick, we can say. All right, so we're hovering around this area. We have positive divergence on the RSI. We have some bullish moves on our stochastic down here. Okay, so these are looking positive. We're holding. We're still holding good supports. We have this demand zone, okay, created from one of our retests. And this demand zone coincides right along with our 618 fib retracement level. So that's a perfect opportunity for a retrace after basically hitting all-time highs. Okay, retesting all-time highs. We made all-time highs, yes, right, but barely. And so we had a typical sell-off. Okay, and we retraced back to the 618. Beautiful retracement level as we stair-stepped our way up this Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so this is looking good. We've retraced that. And then, guys, if we look just kind of on a more, on a simpler analysis, we have, you know, remember we had our accumulation phase here. We had our basic support, we had our squeeze under support, and we took off. Okay, now, here was roughly 29,000. Okay, we went a little bit lower. Okay, but roughly 29,000. Okay, here roughly 39,000. Here right now we're at 46.7. Okay, roughly 47. But in the middle of this structure is 49, and so these structures are forming right around the 29.30, 39.40, 49.50. Area zones before we're getting bounces. All right. So as the technicals goes, guys, this is nothing crazy yet. Okay, nothing crazy yet. We've gotten good bounces, and so and then if we look at our RSI, guys, and our stochastics, they're at levels that give us a lot of room to run to the upside. Okay, so these are looking really good. All right, let's go on chain to see what we're doing on a more macro level. First, actually, on a more short term, let's go ahead and let's take a look at our derivatives. All right, so if we look at futures, perpetuals funding rate, we're back in the green. Okay, so funding starting to become positive a little bit again. So I don't want to see this automatically ramp up like crazy right away. Okay, that's not going to be good. All right, but if you see in this previous structure, right, we had net negative here, we had net negative here, and then we started funding again when we had our impulse move. We had negative here, started funding again, and so it's possible that we start to ramp back up. But again, I don't want to see this get too out of control. On a positive, if we look at our funding rates here, they're nowhere near a top, right? When we're getting into this more, not quite euphoric phase, but more of a euphoric phase, right? In this part of the bull run, I mean, our funding was way up. Okay, we're getting close to 0.1 or over %. right? And so this is a lot of funding. This is definitely more in the euphoric phase where everybody believes, it can only go up. These are much more healthy levels. Okay, if we look at open interest or regular futures, okay, these are getting definitely more cleaned out. Okay, so creating a healthier market there. If we look at our open interest on perpetuals, we're almost back to levels that we were here in this previous structure. Okay, so that's extremely positive. Okay, and that's definitely something that we needed to see happen for sure. All right, so exchange balance on exchanges. Okay, exchange balance as a percent continuing to decrease, guys. Continuing to decrease. Okay, we have a little bump most recently. Okay, but remember this is macro, and just think about all of these coins that are leaving exchanges and the supply squeeze that this is creating. In our T3 membership group, guys, we look at this. We look at our liquid supply. We look at our liquid supply, we look at our liquid supply change, and we see just this trend from 2017 that's just that has just changed everything about Bitcoin and the supply dynamics for Bitcoin, and just the biggest supply squeeze that it's creating, where it's going to create this sudden realization that there is not enough Bitcoin for the demand. Okay, and it's slow. It's a slow grind, but that sudden realization will push us to new all-time highs and big all-time highs. All right, and so we have this big downtrend, guys. Even as price action is going up, big downtrend, big downtrend on balance on exchanges. Extremely positive. If we look at it in a different way, if we look at exchange net position change. Okay, big net negative, guys. Even on we're hitting lower lows in this structure. This rate of coins coming off of exchanges is increasing even more. Okay, and so again, think about the dynamics of all of these coins that are coming off of exchanges and what that is creating. Okay, in the macro, we can go ahead and we can zoom out. And so these levels are very close to, again, not quite as close, but it's not here. It's nothing close to a top. Okay, and so this is in no way bearish. All right, so this is extremely positive. We look at SOPR really quick, guys. This kind of distinguishes kind of where we bull market, bear market, right? Bull market, we want to be above this one metric, and we use it as a retrace and a retest as support. Okay, in bull markets, and then in bear markets, we're hanging out below and use it as resistance. Okay, and so most recently, okay, we briefly came underneath, right? But brief stints underneath this our baseline, our one metric is fine. Okay, we pop back above. Now we just put in a higher low, and now we're back above again. Okay, so this is extremely positive. If you look at the previous structure, something similar happened. We broke below, okay, and then we went ahead and pushed up, and then we started using it as support again. All right, so there's nothing to worry about here. And then, guys, if we're looking at our biggest whales, number of addresses balances of over 10,000. Okay, near the high. All right, we're near the high here that we just put in during this call this mid-cycle accumulation phase, right? This where we're ranging just between 64,000 and 30,000. So, are they buying like absolute crazy? No, but they're not selling either. And they're definitely accumulating, right? Especially since during this entire time, but especially since the past, let's say 2 months, right? And so we're near the highs now, and this is in no way bearish at all. If this was, keep in mind, guys, too, somebody was saying that at these levels here, that whales were selling. Okay, please keep this in mind. Whales are never selling into weakness, guys. Okay, we've started, they're not behind the curve, they're ahead. Okay, you can see here, we go up in price, they've already started selling. They've already started selling, and look, they've already virtually all sold before our selling. Okay, they're not selling into weakness. So when I heard the other day a very, very well-known TikTok influencer or social media influencer saying that whales are selling down here, that's, if you think about that from a logical standpoint, whales, big money, they don't, I want to be careful what I say. They have an edge in the market. We'll say that. Okay. And so they are definitely not behind and caught off guard and selling into weakness. Okay. And we can see clearly here that they have been buying and definitely not selling. All right, guys. So long-term, more macro, everything is still absolutely perfect. Again, I'm thinking more and more that this is a super cycle. Just the dynamics, guys, are setting up for that. Similar levels to, you know, before this bull run in 2020, the first part of this. And so everything is setting up for a super cycle, in my opinion. In the short term, we're still hanging out around this 46, 47,000. We zoom in, okay, and we're still down here, still holding good support levels, and so we'll want to see this hop back up into this range, and so we'll see how this plays out. Okay, do not cut your losses too quickly, guys. Okay, especially when you're seeing some sort of accumulation phase like this. All right, this has happened countless times. Remember, crypto, Bitcoin is an immature market. Whales know that. Now they're in this market and they're I don't want to say manipulating, but they're playing it to a T. Okay. There's so many inexperienced traders in these markets, and they will use these structures in order to take cheap coins. That's it. Okay. And so make sure we're in an absolute confirmed downtrend or confirmed uptrend before you go and take positions, because there are fake outs all over the place. All right, guys, continue to monitor this. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe, hit the like, guys. And just so you know, we are about to drop the on-chain metrics course on our website. Go check out the website, giving you all the tools you need to learn how to analyze on-chain and using Glassnode. And so you can go ahead and use that for yourself and learn how to analyze those and to trade that. All right, guys, again, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.